2 more years at least at Scotstoun.
Yeah.
Was that an easy decision for you to make?
Yeah, in the end it was. Yeah, I think there's a lot of moving parts, but my desire and sort of my family's desire was always to stay here. So, in terms of where we wanted to be, it was an easy decision. And then obviously when we got things organised upstairs, it was an easy one.
What does this? It's a tough question to answer, I guess. But what does this club mean to you?
It's not that tough for me to answer. It's a huge deal. Like I went to school in Edinburgh, brought up in Edinburgh. I went through the academy in Edinburgh, and then obviously I left there in sort of pretty bad terms. A time of my life that I found really difficult. You know, I've spoken before earlier on this year about suffering from depression and going through that stage, and sort of route back into rugby and how much I enjoyed it. And this club, I mean, Gregor, when he was here, and just the club gave me the opportunity to come back into the professional environment. And really, since I've joined, I've gone from strength to strength. You know, I've gone from being in the squad to a squad player to then a member of the 23. It's allowed me to push on with my national ambitions as well, and just develop me not just a player, but just sort of a person with the rest of the guys here. You know, we've got a great group of guys here. It's a brilliant squad. And it's just a brilliant family atmosphere as well, with wives, girlfriends, partners, kids. Jen is a really big part of my decision to make sure that Jen was comfortable, and she wanted to stay here as well. And she loves being part of the club. She loves all the other the girls that are hanging around and the family that we have going. So it was a really easy decision.
There's a lot of, especially in your position, there's competition for places. Yeah. Is that gonna benefit you as a player, having that in training week in, week out?
Yeah, definitely. Again, if we go back 5 years when I joined, we had Pat here, we had Dougie here, Finn Gillis is here at the time, and then Kev came in. And if you look now, we've got such a strong group of hookers here as well, with James, George, Pat, and myself. And it's brilliant. You need that competition to push you on. And if you're not having a good couple of weeks, or you're slightly off form, then you might not be in the team. So you need that competition. You need it in training. But at the same time, there's a good relationship between all of us. There's a lot of learning that goes on between all of us, whether it's scrum time, line-out time, or roles that we're doing around the pitch. So it's a real good sort of learning atmosphere to be in.
It's a new atmosphere for you with this season. You're so used to Gregor for so long, but now it's Dave. How was that transition for you? You were injured at the start of the season, but you're starting to play a bit more now, have you?
Yeah, I've had a difficult first couple of months. I think last weekend was my third comeback of the season. It's been different, but I think it's been really good. It's an old cliche that change isn't bad, it's good, and I think it has been really good. There's some sort of continuity in my game with obviously Gregor and Dan and Matt Taylor being in the national setup, and again with Jason and John Humphreys coming down here, and with Mike going between the two, and just having sort of fresh ideas and a fresh perspective on the club coming through Dave. I think it's been really healthy. It's really good for my game because it puts a different emphasis on what he wants. And if you can marry the two together and take bits and pieces from what different coaches like and try to put them all together, then it can only benefit me and hopefully the club.
With your direct forwards coach being a hooker now in John Humphreys, what knowledge has he passed down to you? Will that help your game, the fact that he's played there and he knows exactly what he wants?
Yeah, you'd think having a hooker as a coach, he'd be a little more forgiving when it comes to line-outs, but it's the complete opposite. He's really driven in wanting us to execute our drill properly, especially at line-out time. We've got a big emphasis on being able to win the ball, even if guys are competing against us. So he puts a lot of pressure on us, but he's also willing to sit down for whatever it takes, whether it's after training or first thing in the morning, and go through stuff with you, talk through line-outs, talk through scrums, and he knows what he wants. And he understands the difficulties of the job that we have and the pressure that we have. So it's a lot easier just sort of working day to day with someone who sort of understands that, and it's a lot easier for both us and him, I think, being able to put the pressure on us to perform in training and at games, knowing that he's been there and done that, and that's the expectation that he has.
You spoke about missing the start of this season, but from my point of view, watching you last year, I thought you were playing the rugby of your life.
Thanks.
Is this an environment that helps that? Does that help facilitate that, the fact that you're so comfortable here?
Yeah, definitely. I think in the last couple of years, I've really sort of moved on. Just Because I've been comfortable here. I think when you have the sort of the respect and the confidence of the coaches and the guys that you're playing around, but probably more importantly in yourself, then it really helps bring out sort of an extra edge to your game. I think last year I had that. I came into the season, I had a good pre-season last year, and I came into the start of the year full of confidence in what I wanted to get out of the season. I had really clear goals. Again, it was a little bit difficult at the start of this year. I knew coming back from tour in June that I was going to miss the start of the season with a sort of an ankle injury I'd had for the last couple of years, and it allowed me to sort of reassess and sort of put new goals into place of what I wanted to achieve this year, knowing that I was going to be out of action for the first couple of months. What I didn't know then is that I was going to miss the next couple of months with another couple of niggles, but again, these things are good for you because they allow you to just take stock of where you are, and guys like George has come through this year and he's been playing really well at the club, and it puts the pressure back on me for when I come back to be able to perform from the word go, and not sort of build into things but sort of hit the ground running.
You were here when we won the league.
Yeah.
You know what it's like to win things in a
Yeah.
Warriors jersey. Is there a belief in this squad that you can do something similar in the next couple of years?
Yeah, definitely. I think the aim is this year. We've been going really well in the league. 10 from 10. Obviously, we've got two big weeks coming up for the club, and then another league game the following week at Zebra away. And I think you never win leagues, or you never win championships or anything at the start of the season. But what we do now allows us to be able to really hit the ground running come the end of the season. So for us, our goal at the start of the season was to compete and try and progress in every competition we were in. It hasn't quite happened for us in Europe. Our standard maybe dropped just a little bit, and we've lost out in sort of some of the close calls in those games. So now our focus can really turn to the league, and our goal is to win it. Obviously we want to get to the playoffs and try and get a home semi-final and then kick on from there.
And finally, what a way to celebrate your new contract with an 1872 Cup double header. What are those games like for you especially?
It's hard. I think I never particularly like the build-up in the week to them. There's lots of things that go around in media. I saw your Instagram today. And there's always lots of stuff like that. There's lots of things they'll put on, they'll write in the press about Scotland selections. There'll be individual matchups. I'm sure, obviously, I'll go up against Stuart this weekend, so there'll be a lot of pressure, a lot of attention on that. So I never really enjoyed the build-up for them, but then game day comes and it is just another game, but then there's just this added bit of spice to it. We showed a clip upstairs this morning, and I think in every single clip there's someone was getting elbow rubbed in their face, or their head pushed into the ground, or they've just a bit of shoulders in the ribs, and it's all good, like well channeled aggression in these games, but there's always just something a little bit special and a little bit extra, which is what it's meant to be. It's a derby, so I'm looking forward to it come Saturday.